Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Ford Tough Studio at FedEx Forum. It's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
That wasn't me.
Right. That's what you say, but I think people, you know what, it probably was me if we're being honest. All the technical difficulties are usually my fault. How you doing this morning?
Great.
My name's Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from downtown Indianapolis. This is the site of the 2026 Final Four. Bennett Doyle is back in Memphis. He's producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. I hope you get through the day better than us. And, you know, I hope you like lottery odds more than you like competitive basketball games, because if so, you had a blast last night inside FedEx Forum. Not so great headline emerged before tip-off. We'll get to all of it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them weird headline. Here at the Final Four, connected to Michigan, Elliot Cadeau, their starting point guard, did not travel with the team to Indianapolis because of an allergic reaction. Sounds like everything's going to be fine, but it looks scary. I'll show you the video. We'll do that in about 20 minutes. Steph Curry said he intends to return to the Warriors lineup on Sunday against the Houston Rockets. Big news for the NBA. It's always good to have your stars available. Spend some time on that in about 40 minutes. Victor Wembanyama went big again last night. 41 points, 18 rebounds in San Antonio's latest victory. Delivered a great quote to Scott Van Pelt afterwards. I'll share it with you. We'll do that in just a bit. Wild story, a $20 million scam connected to Mount Everest guides and helicopter rescues. Woo. This is a doozy. I'll tell you more about that one in the next segment. And if you think that's crazy, it's got nothing on a story connected to a fella down in Horn Lake, my old stomping grounds. He has pleaded guilty. He was convicted of engaging in sex acts with a dog. That's a hell of a thing to have to. That's a hell of a thing to have to admit you did. I'd have probably just gone down lying for the rest of my life, I think. Anyway, we will be confused together, Bennett and I, during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with your Memphis Grizz. First, let me start by apologizing for the delayed start and the muted mic and all of that stuff. I don't know what's going on here, but I got major problems here at the hotel in downtown Indianapolis, Bennett.
Yeah, your setup's a little different, huh?
Okay, let me tell you what's going on here. First and foremost, neither of these chairs in my room are the proper height for somebody my height to sit at a desk and speak into this microphone. So what you're looking at right now is a man sitting on 3 pillows.
Yeah, you got an improper chair to table ratio going on.
It's a wild chair to table ratio. So I'm sitting on 3 pillows. At some point, this whole not going back to New York thing really changed my life, because staying in New York every week, I would just leave all the podcasting equipment in New York at the hotel. So I never have to travel with it. But once I left New York on, I guess it was Monday, I'm not going back to New York. I mean, I don't have anything on the schedule. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Aren't you excited?
No, I mean, I can't wait to get back, but I don't have anything on the schedule. So when I left the city on Monday, I had to take everything home with me. So if you saw me at Memphis International with like 3 big bags looking like a maniac, that's why. My whole life was in New York, and I had to bring it back to North Mississippi. And then I had to repack everything for Indianapolis. And full disclosure, I have a little like contraption that I use. I set my computer on it so that it's mostly eye level when I'm talking to it, because every once in a while you'll see people on Zoom, and I just think it looks crazy when somebody's staring down into Zoom, like this. It's a weird look, like right up your nostrils, and I hate that. So I bought this little contraption from Amazon where it sort of makes it eye level with me or looking down at me. I just think it's a better shot, right? Anyway, I have like 3 of those. You can look right there in the Built Ford Tough studio. There's one right underneath where I sit in that studio. I've got one in my studio at home, and then I've got one that I kept in New York, and this is a long way to tell you I forgot it. I didn't pack it. So as I'm setting up this morning, I realized my chair's too low. I have nothing to set my computer on, and that was a struggle. So if you're wondering why we didn't come on till 10:04, 10:05, that was the reason. I was sitting here with Bennett and Kyra trying to get a shot framed using pillows in a chair and a miniature garbage can on a desk.
I think for all of that, I think it's a pretty solid shot, to be quite honest with you.
There was another garbage can inside this garbage can. I took it out. My computer
you took the sleeve off.
Took the sleeve off. My computer is now sitting on a garbage can. I'm sitting on 3 pillows, and I'm talking to you from downtown Indianapolis. Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good, man. Doing really good. It's a beautiful day in the city of Memphis, and vibes are okay. Vibes are okay.
Okay, we'll get to that. All right, yeah. Let's go through the normal routine.
All right.
Let's pretend, and then so that's why we started at 10:05, because my chair's too low. I'm trying to balance my computer on a garbage can. A lot going on. I don't really know why when I decided to finally start, my mic wasn't working, but either way, it's working now. We're good now. So let's pretend we didn't waste the first 14 minutes of the show.
Okay.
Let's pretend that,
Works
and let's get into our routine. All right. I want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies, and that's because Game 76 of a scheduled 82, it was played last night in downtown Memphis. Once again, it did not go well for the home team. The final score was Knicks 130, Grizz 119. I was getting cyberbullied by Wally Zerbiak. He was like, GP, what is going on? We're setting franchise records against you guys. I said, Wally, we're moving forward, and I'm at dinner. Leave me alone. 2 straight losses for the Grizz. They've also dropped 7 of 8. They've also dropped 15 of 17. Jokes aside, this is what moving forward looks like. Updated record 25-51, tied with the Pelicans with 6 games remaining. Big Bet Bennett, what was it like to watch in person the Knicks make 13 of their first 15 shots, score 48 points in the first quarter, and shoot 71% in the first half?
Super weird, because they were on pace to score like 200 points in that game after that first quarter. I mean, it was insane. And the funny thing about it, man, is you've kind of like seen a lot from Knicks fans, like that they've been a little frustrated with this team this season, that maybe they think that they might have hit a little bit of a wall, or maybe hit their peak. And that was on full display last night. Like, I totally understand why Knicks fans are frustrated with that team, because you see the first half of that game, and obviously that's a great roster, and you're like, oh my, and they didn't have Brunson last night. You're just like, oh my God, how is this team not the favorite to win the Eastern Conference? Like, they are loaded. They've got great players. They've got a good coach. It seems like everything should be going good. And then that second half starts, and they just hit these lulls like they did last night, where I don't know, they're just a different looking team. It was bizarre to watch. And I don't really know, like, they're kind of a hard team to figure out, because, dude, if you told me that the Knicks were going to win the Eastern Conference, I would be like, okay, I totally buy that. Like, the East, there's a lot of question marks with a lot of the teams surrounding them. We'll see with Cade Cunningham coming back to Detroit, like what that's going to look like with his lung issue. But they just, I don't know, something felt kind of off about them. They obviously win the game, but yeah, I totally get the weird vibes that I've seen Knicks fans talk about after watching that game last night.
I will say, because of how much time I spend in New York, I'm around a lot of New Yorkers, and just sort of in studio, in the bullpen, a lot of Knicks conversations come up. And you're right, they don't love the team. They focus more on the flaws than they do the fact that they're third in the East and real contenders. We should all be so lucky. But you're right. There's something that isn't quite right with that. But to pin it down on last night, I would just say how much of that is your leaders out, second night of a back-to-back. Sure. All due respect, you're playing the moving forward Grizzlies on a Wednesday night.
And you're up 1 million points at half. Right.
Right. Just go up a bunch and then cruise to the finish line and get out to Wilson Air and get back home or wherever you're going next. So I don't put too much into that. But broadly speaking, whether it's a Knicks, Celtics, Pistons, Cavs conversation or whatever else in the East, or now we've got a Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Denver. Hey, the Lakers keep winning conversation in the West. I know the Grizzlies aren't going to be a part of it, and that stinks. But I'm genuinely excited for the NBA playoffs. Give me a 7-game series between Wemby and SGA and the Thunder and the Spurs. I mean, that's so. I wonder, for the first time in a while, or how normal is this? I think on both sides of the league, East and West, I don't want to say it's wide open, but it feels like if you polled 50 people, you would get a variety of answers on who's going to come out of the East and who's going to come out of the West. Out of the West, probably only Oklahoma, San Antonio, and maybe a tricky little Denver one here or there. In the East, you're going to get a lot of Bostons, and I guess you'll get some Knicks. But there's variety. If you ask the just very basic question, who's going to win the East, who's going to win the West, I think you'll get a lot of answers on April 2nd, 2026. More answers than you would normally get in a different year.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you gave me Oklahoma City or the field, I might just take the field, just because I do think that it's a little more open this year, and especially in the Eastern Conference. That's why the Knicks thing is why I was saying it's weird, because on paper that team should be one of the favorites to win the Eastern Conference. And they might very well do it, depending on who they match up with, in the playoffs this year. I do think that there is a really good chance this year you're going to see a big upset in the first round. I think that there's a better chance of that happening this year than we may have seen in years past.
So the Grizzlies fall again last night, again tied with the Pelicans right now. That record equates to 8th best lottery odds with 6 regular season games remaining. The finish line's right around the corner. And then, of course, before tip-off last night, we get a headline originating from Arkansas. I'll just read you straight from the commercial appeal. Memphis Grizzlies forward Brandon Clarke was arrested Wednesday in Arkansas on charges including speeding and possession of a controlled substance. Thomas Isla was asked about it last night. He said, "I'm aware of the report, but don't have any comments." The Cross County Sheriff's Department logged Clarke as booked into jail Wednesday afternoon for improper passing, possession of a controlled substance, fleeing and exceeding the speed limit, and trafficking a controlled substance. There's a booking photo, there's not much more information other than publicly known information other than what I just read to you. There's a lot of blanks that need to be filled in, probably more questions than answers right now. I don't think it'd be appropriate to fill in those blanks with speculation. So, Bennett, I'll just ask you, based on what you know and what you heard, that's another headline, disappointing headline that, frankly, this franchise doesn't need right now. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, like you said, it just feels like it's kind of never ending this season. Just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just been one thing after another. And I hope everything's like good with BC, obviously. We love that dude. He's been a part of this franchise for a long time now. So first and foremost, hope everything ends up being all right with him. But yeah, my first thoughts were, golly, man, it's like it's never ending. That's just kind of how it felt, if I'm being quite honest. And I think other people felt the same. Like, damn, dude, like, can we catch a break?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this isn't even, and then we'll move on. But this isn't even about catching a break. This is just a poor decision.
Yeah, for sure.
This isn't bad luck, like, you tore his Achilles, or, somebody rolled an ankle, or, this is consciously consciously making a poor decision, or at least putting yourself in a problematic situation. So again, we'll wait for the blanks to be filled in, more information to be disclosed, but just obviously disappointing. You don't want to, I walk in my youngest son's bathroom, and there's a piece of art in there, and it's got John Morant on it, and Desmond Bain on it, and Jaren Jackson on it, and Steven Adams on it, and I think Brandon Clarke's on it. And, it's just, we're going to have to replace that one someday.
Yeah.
It's
nah, man, we'll always have the memories.
We'll always have the memories. I just wish we didn't have these headlines. We'll always have the memories, but it'd be nice to not have these headlines. Again, we'll wait for more answers to emerge, more details to be disclosed. But just on a surface level, I think we can all agree, not a great look.
Yeah.
Be back with 5 more things.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Absolutely amazing. Wells, a rhythm 3. Yes, sir! That's an exclamation point on this game.
Grizz fans, defend your home court from pests with Terminix. Before cockroaches, spiders, and mice show up, Terminix it with our pest-free 365-plus year-round protection plan. Visit Terminix.com today and enter code SAVE50 at checkout to save $50. Terms apply. Go Grizzlies!
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
25 years of history, going back to where it all started. B2K is back. The Millennium Tour presents the Boys for Life Tour. Bow Wow.
I ain't impressed cause ain't none of them at all.
Boys for Life. Also starring Pretty Ricky, B5, Young Jock, Crime Mob, A. Marie, and Franchise Boys. April 26th, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Presented by the Black Promoters Collective.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled. And Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Scary headline development connected to the Final Four that seemed that way initially, now not so much. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. So most of the teams traveled here to Indianapolis yesterday for the Final Four. Arizona, for instance, happened to be at the same restaurant as me last night. It is wild, like the things that your kids connect to. So I'm FaceTiming with the kids last night, and I said, hey, guys, it looks like Arizona's here, because I saw the team bus right outside the restaurant. And they said, so the Arizona basketball team's in the restaurant you're going? And I said, yeah, it looks like it. And they called back, 45 minutes later, and they were like, is the Arizona team there? And I said, yeah, they're here. And who do you think, Arizona basketball, who do you think they wanted to see? They wanted to ask their dad if I saw this person.
From the Arizona men's basketball team.
Yeah, my little boys wanted to ask. They said, Dad, did you see, is this person there? And I said, yes. And they said, wow.
I mean, I was going to say maybe Koa Pete. I don't know. Who?
Bryce James, LeBron's son.
Oh, yeah, of course. Kyra said it. That makes complete sense.
That is the first person they connected to Arizona basketball, is Bryce James, and he doesn't play.
And it's so weird. That is so wild. What year is he? Is he a sophomore? Freshman?
Yeah, he's
a freshman.
Not playing. I don't have much interest in
I got it.
He's just not. He's not an Arizona level player at this point in his career.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes from here. But anyway. Most of the teams traveled yesterday. My boys were fired up about the idea of me being in a room next to Bryce James, which is it's just YouTube. It's just the stuff that's fed to them. Bryce James is more famous than he has accomplished, and he is a part of my son's lives somehow. So they were fired up that their dad was in the same restaurant as Bryce James last night.
I mean, it is kind of cool. I get it.
Cool.
I get it.
I guess it was cool.
Well, and wasn't Bryce here? Didn't he come do the EYBL thing here? I want to say he did.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I've seen him at Peach Jam play, and LeBron's always there. LeBron's visible, like LeBron is at his son's stuff as much as he could possibly be. When he's there, he's just like any other dad. I mean, roped off and kind of over here to the thing, but he's a very present father. And so anyway, Bryce James was at the restaurant last night. My point is that teams traveled to Indianapolis yesterday, Michigan included, and their star point guard, Elliot Cadeau, did not travel with the team because of an allergic reaction. Now, keep in mind, we now know that he's fine. He's going to get here. He's going to be fine. But look at this.
I know. When you see that video, you're like, oh, my God, what happened? Yeah, right. No, that's scary. And he's like all wrapped up, too. You know what I thought, though, when I saw that he was having a reaction? He might be like breaking out or something, and that's why he's covered up, because it's embarrassing. That was the first thing I thought when I saw it was a reaction.
Yeah, he could have been swelling or whatever happens when you have a reaction to something.
Yeah.
Also, they could have just been like, we don't want, if there's a way to not have the whole world know this is Elliot Cadeau, we don't want the whole world to know this is Elliot Cadeau. But these days, everybody's walking around with an iPhone. When there's an ambulance at a facility like that, people are going to get curious and pull out their phones, and next thing you know, you get what you get. So it looks like a nothing story now. But I guess I was traveling yesterday, and the first thing I was made aware of that there was an Elliot Cadeau issue was that video. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, is he dead? Like, what is going on? Like,
right.
That looks like.
No, he's covered up on a stretcher. Yes. Right.
It's just a weird,
kind of scary.
It's just a weird visual, and so everything's fine. But that was a weird story to emerge. on the days leading up to the Final Four. So at dinner last night, it's interesting. So the whole world's here. It would be impossible to be in downtown Indianapolis, sit in any restaurant, and not see somebody connected to the basketball world. So I go to dinner with a handful of people last night, and then one of my bosses and a few other people were at the place next door. So I just walked right over there and sat down with them. And just sort of interesting where the sport has gone now. This guy, around my age, I guess, probably a little younger, he walks over to our table, and he says, he's from Kansas City. And he says, hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. I hear you every Tuesday with Seren Petro on 810 Kansas City, and I enjoy those segments and just wanted to say hello. And I said, oh, man, that's nice. Thank you. I'm Gary and whatever. And then he'd been drinking a little bit, and he goes, hey, can I just sit down? Because there was three of us at the table, and there was an open chair right there. And he goes, hey, can I just sit down? And like, what would you do? What do you do?
I would just have to say yes.
I didn't know what to do. It's kind of a weird, like that's not a thing that happens too often. I remember one time I was sitting with a friend, like on a patio bar one time, and a guy walked up, and it was a similar deal. And I was like, hey, are you? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and he just like pulled up. And this was like a one-on-one thing. And he just like pulled up and like he was like a third wheel of us. And he hung out with us for like an hour.
So I would never do that if I was in that position.
Right.
But if I was in your position, I think I would just probably say, yeah, man.
In the moment, I didn't know what else to say other than sure. So,
right. I couldn't put myself in the situation to be like, nah, dude. After he just came and complimented me, like I can't do that.
Right. He was like a human comes up and says, "Hey, I like you, and I enjoy what you do,
and I want to hang out with you."
And I'm supposed to say, "No, buddy. You can catch me next Tuesday on 8:10."
I just no. Yeah. You can't do that. You can't do that.
That's what I thought. So I just said,
what did
sure.
you do? Okay, good.
I said, yeah, man, sit down.
You did the right thing. You did the right thing.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, I probably had a couple drinks, too. So I was like,
you're
sure,
okay.
sit down.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, so what do you do? And this is his job, among his jobs. And this, I'm not telling the story for any other reason than it just sort of, I think, illustrates where the sport is now and how creative these universities are getting with these NIL contracts. So he said, here's my job. He said, I work in insurance. I said, okay. He said, so let's say Memphis wants to sign a player out of the transfer portal. Okay. He said, okay. He said, Memphis might not have the same money available that Kentucky has, right? But Memphis might want the same player that Kentucky's getting. Mm-hmm. Kentucky might offer $1.8 million to this player out of the transfer portal to go to Kentucky. They've got it. It's all guaranteed. Here, come with us, guaranteed 1.8. Memphis might tell this young man, we can't afford 1.8 million. We don't have that. But what we can do is give you a $1.2 million guaranteed contract with incentives that could take it up to 3. So in other words, we can't give you the 1.8 guaranteed that Kentucky's giving you, because we don't have that. But we can give you 1.2 guaranteed. And we'll put a clause in the contract that says if you're the American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, it's a $1.8 million bonus. It's up to $3 million guarantee. It's up to $3 million if you get that. And so, and keep in mind, I'm just making up numbers. They could be anything, but this is just a hypothetical I'm making up.
Yes.
But this is the way the guy more or less explained it. He said, so you're Memphis, you tell this young man, we can only guarantee 1.2, but you've got a chance to make 3 if you're the AAC Player of the Year. And here's Gary Parrish, John Rossi, and Matt Norlander. We just polled all of them. So if this person plays at Memphis, who would you project as the AAC Player of the Year? They say it's you. So you come here, do what you're supposed to do. You get $3 million at the end of the season instead of the 1.8 you would get at Kentucky.
That sounds incredible. Okay. I hope Memphis is doing that. Can you put them in touch with this guy?
Okay. Now here's where this guy comes into play. Okay. So then Memphis calls me, and they say we need to insure this contract. So I said, okay. So what does that cost? And we're just talking numbers. He said so like. let's say Memphis calls me and they said, we need to insure $1.8 million bonus for this player out of the transfer portal. If he doesn't win AAC Player of the Year, we don't need it. And if he does, though, we got to give him $1.8 million. We need you to cover the $1.8 million with an insurance policy. What is that going to cost us? Let's say $100,000. Okay, so Memphis pays $1.2 million to the player, another $100,000 to this insurance company, and you've got it covered. And if the kid goes on to be the American Player of the Year, you're still only out the 1.3. The insurance policy will cover the $1.8 million bonus that you've got to pay. And if he doesn't win the American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, well, then the insurance company just made $100,000 off of you. And again, these numbers are made up numbers, but you get the point. It's a little bit like, think of when you go to a golf scramble and they've got a hole in one, you can win a car. The people running that golf tournament are not just going to give you the car. They've got an insurance policy on that car. And somebody's going to cover that car if somebody happens to get a hole in one, but odds are they're not going to, so it's fine. But if you happen to get the hole in one, they're typically going to have a policy on that car that triggers the payment so that they're not really out $45,000 because some idiot made a hole in one on a Wednesday afternoon, right? And this is similar. So this is just where the sport is now. These are the types of conversations that are going on. There's an insurance guy meeting with a general manager of a college basketball program trying to come up with policies to help influence decisions made by young people on where they're going to play football and basketball. That's where we're at.
Man, I mean, honestly, that sounds like something that could frankly really benefit a school like Memphis. Like, I hope they are doing that because because you can sell to those players, dude, it's going to be way easier for you to win AAC Player of the Year than it is for you to win SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know what would be smart, what would be dumb.
But just in theory, it sounds really good.
In theory, sure, if you could cash $3 million instead of 1.8, that would be amazing. But you would also, you're also a rolled ankle away, or even more likely than that, one of your teammates rolls an ankle. I don't know if it's more likely, but and now your team's not that good, and now you can't win the Conference Player of the Year because your team's not that good, and you just left $600,000 on the table.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know which is smart. I just know that in every way, somebody is attacking this from every angle to try to create advantages, to try to create new ways of doing things. And so, if you can imagine it, it can be pursued. The staffs that are going to kill it in this transfer portal and flourish moving forward in this new era of college athletics are the ones that understand how to be creative, how to get things done. And this was just a new one that I hadn't heard in this kind of detail. There's at least one man, because he sat with me last night for an hour, running around Indianapolis, in part trying to get together deals that are more or less insurance policies on the NIL and revenue share contracts. It's a new world we're living in, and I hope Elliot Cadeau's okay.
Number 2.
Steph Curry intends to return to the Warriors rotation on Sunday against the Houston Rockets. 1 week left in the regular season in an attempt to get ready for the postseason. Bennett, Steph Curry's return, that's good for the NBA, right? People like to watch Steph Curry play basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good for the NBA. They're kind of locked into that 10th seed in the standings. So, I don't know how much it's going to matter for their postseason hopes. I mean, that's 10th is a tough spot to be in, right? If you have Steph Curry, you're always going to have a chance. But they're obviously going to be up against it going into this thing.
Well, when you're 10th, you gotta play the 9 on the road. You got to win that, and then you got to go play the loser of
8-7.
Yeah, isn't that the way it works? Right.
Yeah.
So you're up against it. You're up against it a little bit, but I guess if you got that guy, you got a shot. Probably not a shot to advance out of the first round of the playoffs, but maybe you can get into the actual first round of the playoffs. I guess that's the goal.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm kind of surprised by this, to be quite honest. I thought we were frankly going to get I thought we were going to get a report that he was going to shut it down the rest of the season. I really did, just because of where they are. You if you're going to continue to try to build this thing around Steph Curry, then ideally, if you're the Warriors, you probably want to get in the lottery instead of trying to get in the playoffs this year. So I was surprised by it, but he's one of the GOATs, and so if he wants to play, you let him play, right?
Well, the problem becomes I don't think they can get into the lottery. I don't think they can fall out of 10th. Even if they were to lose every game, they were just going to be stuck in the top 10 no matter what.
Yeah, but if they lose, they'll be in, right?
Oh,
if they lose in the play-in, you get what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah, I don't know what's going. I don't know what they're going to do with him. Here's the thing: you can turn on the TV Sunday and watch Steph Curry play, and we'll let them figure out their own issues in Golden State. I think we got enough on our own, don't we?
I think they can figure it out. They'll be fine over there. All right, I ain't worried about what the hell they got going on.
Hey, let's let them figure out whatever they need to figure out. It ain't none of our business.
Yeah, sounds good.
Number 3.
Victor Wembanyama went big again last night, 42 points and 18 rebounds in the Spurs win over Golden State. 127-113 was the final. Did you see the quote to Scott Van Pelt after the game?
From Wemby? No, I didn't see it.
So he said after the game, he was asked, how much does the MVP mean to you? And he said, it means everything. I want this stuff. If you look at the all-time greats, they did a good job mostly of stacking accolades early in their career. And so I want to be thought of that way. I want to go down in history as one of those things. And it's important for me to not miss on any opportunities. Right now, I have an opportunity at the age of 22 to be the MVP of this league, to be the defensive player of the year, and to maybe lead my team to a championship. I want to do all of those things. They're all very important to me. I love this stuff. I love it when people talk like this.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I don't like it when people act like they're too cool or they don't care.
Completely agree.
Because you do care. These people, and you should care.
You know who else cares? The fans. And we want you to care, right?
Yes. He cares about everything. That's the one among the takeaways about Wemby at this point. It's pretty clear he cares about everything. He cares about competing in the All-Star game and making it compelling again. He cares about being a good teammate. He cares about being the face of the franchise. He cares about someday being the face of the NBA. He cares about being a role model. He seems to care about all of the right stuff, and I like that he can acknowledge, no, I'm not too cool to say it doesn't matter to me how people vote when this thing is over. It matters to me immensely. I want to be the MVP. I want to hold the most valuable player trophy. I want to give that speech. I want to thank everybody I need to thank. I want to have that moment. And it does feel like it's kind of building. I know Luka's doing what he's doing, and SGA is still SGA. But if you let this thing play out through the full 82, he's on a roll right now. And it does feel like momentum is heading his direction as they continue to win. They're now 58-18, and he continues to go big like this. Last night, 41 points, 18 rebounds in only 29 minutes. I could see it swinging in his favor, particularly if people keep emphasizing basketball is played on both ends of the court, and Luka does not positively impact the defensive end of the court at all. SGA doesn't the way Wemby does. Nobody does the way Wemby does. When you combine both aspects of the game, that's the most valuable player in the world. If you continue to emphasize that point and the Spurs continue to win and he continues to post ridiculous box scores, I could see him closing this perceived gap on SGA and actually getting this done.
I mean, if it's like we talked about this yesterday and the day before. Like I do think that they tend to more often than not factor in the records of who they give these guys to. Like, you have to be on an awesome team, and right now Cade's not going to get it because of the games played and how much time he's missed with a lung. That's not happening, right? So because we know Detroit has a great record. OKC, San Antonio, they're the other two, right, that have separated themselves from everybody else in the East and the West, okay? And so it's going to come down to Shea and Wemby. It just is, because I know they're going to factor that into this. The Spurs have 8 more wins than the Lakers. So, like, that's why Luka's not going to have a chance at it because of the record, right? And so, dude, if it comes down between those dudes, they're 2 games apart, like, I would give it to Wemby.
I think I would give it to I think, all things considered, right now, we can dive into all the numbers. We can chop it up a million different ways. I can emphasize the defensive end of the court. But if you really just want to make it simple, just make it as simple as you can make it. Who's actually the most valuable basketball player to a team right now?
Because
I think it's him.
Because I think if you take Shea off OKC, they still have. I don't think they're the 1 seed in the West. I think they're still easily in that top 6. They have a really good roster, and so do the Spurs. But I just think Wemby means so much to how that thing goes that I'm not sure that they are still a top 6 team in the West if you take him off of that roster.
If you say the Thunder and Spurs are comparable right now, record-wise they are. The Spurs have beaten them multiple times. If you say they're comparable teams, at full strength, comparable teams, and if you want to say the Thunder are better because they're the reigning champs and the better record and all that stuff, I'm fine with it. But, like, can we at least loosen the guidelines a little bit and say they're comparable? Would you agree they're comparable basketball teams? Mm-hmm. Not in style, but in ability. Okay. Now let's take each one of them off their teams. Which team is better then? It's OKC.
It's OKC.
OKC widens if you think OKC is better than San Antonio now, you take SGA off OKC, take Wemby off Spurs. What happens to that gap? Does it close or does it widen? I think it widens.
I do too.
That's your MVP. That's an oversimplified way to look at it. But if you really can't distinguish between the numbers, just think of it like that. If right now we think Oklahoma City is that much better than the Spurs, now take the best players off both teams. What happens to this space? Does it go like this or does it go like this? I think it goes like this. I think the Spurs drop further than the Oklahoma City Thunder drop. Wemby's your MVP. I hope he gets it.
I do too. I don't think he's going to get it though. But I know, but I hope he gets it.
All right.
Number 4.
Mount Everest guides have allegedly been secretly lacing tourist food to trigger costly helicopter rescues as part of a $20 million insurance scam, according to a new investigation. Bennett, you sent me this story.
Yeah.
Do you know the details on this?
I do know the details on this. I don't know if you know this. I've been to Peru before.
I know you've been to Peru. I'm proud of you for going to Peru.
Yeah, and there's a lot of elevation when you go to Cusco, when you go to see Machu Picchu, one of the wonders of the world. Sure. You know, you're way up there. And altitude sickness plays a big. I've suffered from altitude sickness.
You have.
I have been hit with a bad case of altitude sickness before. I drank some herbal tea with some ingredients that, frankly, I don't know if you're allowed to have here, but you are there.
Okay.
And it made me feel better.
Okay.
I don't know if they have that in the Himalayas where Everest is, but I do. This is kind of a genius thing that they've done here. If I'm being completely honest with you,
on one hand, genius. On the other hand, wildly inappropriate.
Very wrong. Very wrong. So the guys. So basically, obviously, it's it's the highest elevation in the world, Mount Everest, right? And so you're gonna get altitude sickness when you have to prepare yourself for weeks for that, maybe months. Like if you're gonna go do that climb to be able to go to the top of Everest. And so what they've done is they've laced hikers' food, allegedly basically to make them think that they're getting sick, but it's making them think that they're having really bad altitude sickness. And so they're having to call, think about how much money it probably costs to get a helicopter evacuation off of Mount Everest, right? It's probably thousands and thousands of dollars. And so they're having to pay this money. And it sounds like that the guides are in with maybe the helicopter company, or
everybody was in together.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. Tourists go to Mount Everest. You spend all this money just to get to do this. You train, you do everything you need to do, and you are aware that there is a thing called altitude sickness. They talk to you about this. They say, hey,
Yes.
this doesn't happen to everybody, but there is a scenario where at some point on the mountain during your climb, these things could set in.
Yep.
Now let's go ahead and tell you what it's going to feel like.
Shortness of breath, brutal headache. Like, that's kind of what that's the
gonna be
minimum one. Yeah.
It's going to be A, B, and C. If you start to feel these things, we are telling you what is happening to you. That is an emergency situation. That is when we need to trigger these series of things. And then they spike the food that they eat and the water that they drink to ensure that their bodies will have a reaction that is not altitude sickness or anything related to actually what they're doing, but it will be a reaction similar to what that reaction would be under normal circumstances. So you tell these people, if you feel A, B, and C, this is what it is, you're in trouble, we got to get a helicopter to you. So then you're feeling it. Not because it's really happening to you, but because of something they put in your food that was always going to make you feel this way. Whether you started climbing this mountain or laid down on a couch, you were going to start feeling this way. And so now you're wherever you are on this mountain, you're feeling exactly what they told you were going to feel. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Call the helicopter. Call the helicopter. Helicopter company gets a cut. Tour guides get a cut. The people at the hospital get a cut for not telling on you.
Yeah. So
because they get you in the hospital, they'll go, oh no, you have baking soda in your system. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to cut in the hospital people. You
Right.
got to say, hey, listen, you just put some IVs in them, get them out of here, and nobody's wiser to it.
Yeah.
So you got to cut everybody in, but all together, they scammed tourists out of like $20 million. This was done nearly 200 times to 200 different people.
Yeah, police in Nepal, they've arrested 32 individuals for organized crime and fraud, including trekking company owners, helicopter operators, and hospital executives. So, yeah, it's like you all got to be in on it, right? Because, again, you send them to the hospital, and they're like, dude, you got food poisoning. Like, no, the hospital people knew. It is just, it's obviously wrong. It's obviously wrong. It's kind of genius. I'm just saying. It's kind of genius.
It's genius right up until when you get caught.
That's right. That's right.
It's genius up until you're facing a felony charge.
Dude, because I'm telling you, man, that altitude sickness, like, you do feel like you're, like, dying. You really do. Like, you feel like that, like, the walls are crushing in on you. At least that was my experience. Like, I felt good after an hour once you get accustomed to it. Now, again, this is Peru that I'm talking about. You know, Everest is the highest point in the world, so like completely different. I would assume that most people that climb Everest do experience some form of altitude sickness. Now, again, they're probably preparing for it over time. They're probably doing climbs to get ready for that climb, right? They're experienced mountain climbers, but I would assume that most people feel something when they're going up there. So yeah, again, if you go up there and get sick, you're thinking, oh yeah, I got altitude sickness. That's the first thing you're going to think you have.
Well, it's even more than that. You're not even wondering what you have. They have already told you in great detail. They've set you up.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to. How about this? It would be no different than this. If I said, hey, Bennett, I want you to go for a jog, but if you start feeling disoriented or having weird thoughts unusual thoughts come into your head, or feeling a little uneasy, you got to go straight to the hospital, okay? Because like it's hot outside, and if you start feeling anything
dizzy,
unusual, anything unusual, you got to go straight to the hospital. That's going to be a heat exhaustion type of thing. You're like, oh, okay, GP. Okay, I got you. And then before you start your jog, I slip a fast-acting edible into your Gatorade. Okay? Yeah. Now, 20 minutes later, you're like, well, those clouds are nice. And now you're feeling weird. You're like, oh, do I need to go to the hospital?
Right.
No, I listened to this story reminded me of a podcast I listened to one time. It was about a cancer doctor. And he had set up his own facility.
Oh, no.
Where he had all the chemo treatments. It was all in-house. Like, if you have cancer, you can go to this clinic, and all your treatments can be done here. And this guy you would go to him because you've got a lump in your whatever. And they would do all the testing. And then they would come back and he would say, I have horrible news, but you have been diagnosed with throat cancer or whatever. We need to start treatment immediately. And the good news is we can start treatment right here. We have everything in this facility. You'll never have to go anywhere other than here. Boom, get you in that chemo machine. Boom, get you on this machine. Get you on this machine. He's, making money faster than and it's all made up. They weren't cancer patients. He was treating people for cancer who did not have cancer to make money. He was making people sick to make money who weren't sick. And that's what that is a different version of what this is. These people are making people sick who aren't sick to make money. That's what happened at Mount Everest, and that was what was happening with this doctor. Different, apples to oranges a little bit, but it's the same type of thing. Is it genius now? Still genius now, Bennett?
It's like I acknowledge on the front end that, organized crime is bad. Yeah, but, if you're going to do it, it's...
Obviously the cancer doctor I think's worse.
Yeah.
Telling people they're dying when they're not.
Yeah, this Everest thing, they're just scamming people out of money. They're not killing people, right?
Yeah, you're scamming people out of money and making them temporarily sick.
Right.
You are the cancer doctor, you're messing with people's physical health. You're messing with their mental health.
Right.
Imagine what that's like to hear you have a cancer diagnosis. Like your whole life gets turned upside down. And then it was all made up. A doctor told you this, broke your heart. You got to go home, tell your kids.
Yeah.
Hey, that is awful. Yeah. So more awful than Mount Everest, but Mount Everest is still kind of interesting plan to obviously profitable, but it seems like they were always going to get caught doing this, and I guess yesterday was that day.
Have you ever had any dreams of climbing Mount Everest?
No. I barely like to climb to the 4th floor of our office building.
I do get a little winded. I always take the stairs, but I do. Sometimes I get a little more winded than others. Some days a little more winded than others.
The only time I will not take the stairs is if I have big suitcase.
Yeah, sure.
I'm coming to the studio and I'm taking an Uber straight to the airport afterwards. Then I'll do the elevator. Outside of that, I always take the stairs.
Yeah.
But I see people sometimes jump in the elevator. Like if you've got to go elevator from 2nd floor to 4th floor, because our garage is on the 2nd floor, you're really only walking up 2 flights. If you're capable, I think you should make that walk.
I read a great book about Mount Everest. A long time. Into Thin Air, the John Krakauer. No, I think that's how you say his name. He did Into the Wild, and Under the Banner of Heaven, the great book about the murders in Utah. It's a book about. It's also about the history of the Mormon religion and stuff.
Whoa.
But this book is wild.
Is Taylor Frankie in it?
She's not. Now they might release a new edition and add a chapter. I don't know, but
I'll buy that one.
Yeah, this was a first-hand account. He was on. This was they made a movie about it not that long ago, called Everest, I think. And he actually was doing the climb when a bunch of people died, and so he wrote a first-hand account of it. It's a great book.
I don't have any interest in any of that kind of stuff. I don't want to go to space. I don't want to climb a mountain. I think
I've climbed a mountain.
I've climbed Stone Mountain in Georgia.
That's pretty cool. I've climbed a mountain.
What mountain have you climbed?
Huayna Picchu. It's right next to Machu Picchu.
Why didn't you tackle Machu Picchu?
Well, Machu Picchu is the village. It's the Machu Picchu.
I don't know anything. I'm really not that smart.
Machu Picchu is an ancient village in the mountains in Cusco, Peru. You'd recognize it if you saw it. It's basically it's kind of fascinating. It's very hard to understand how a civilization was able to get all these massive boulders up this mountain to build this.
Aliens. Seems pretty clear it was
a
aliens.
lot of people think that it is. Like there are a lot of people out there that think that it was aliens that built Machu Picchu. I won't go that far, but there's a mountain right next to it. You can climb and look down on it, and I did that.
Oh wow! Okay,
I got a picture.
Good.
I'll have to put the picture up sometime.
I would like to see that, Bennett.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. I climbed I think I climbed Stone Mountain, or maybe I rode something up Stone Mountain.
That's cool. I mean, that's still an accomplishment.
Either way,
right.
I've been on top of Stone Mountain. I know that. But I don't have any desires to climb things.
Okay.
I climb a couch. I
dabble. I
don't need to climb.
Okay.
It's not that I'm scared of heights. I'm just scared of being tired.
We're going to the Smokies this summer. I'm going to try to make my family do a climb.
Okay, climb with your family, Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Be a mountain climber. Just keep the baking soda out of your system. That's what I learned today.
Yes, for sure.
Number 5.
All right, I don't know what we're going to do with this fella. Oh, I'll just read you the headline. Straight from actionnews5.com. A Horn Lake man has been convicted after a guilty plea regarding a sexual criminal offense involving a family pet. Tristan Pipkin, that's his name. He's 27. He's been charged with 1 count of unnatural intercourse. He was investigated by the Horn Lake Police Department. Pipkin's then girlfriend, this is how he got caught, this fella.
Oh, God. She walked in on it?
No. Pipkin's then girlfriend found video on his phone.
Oh, my God.
Him engaging in sexual acts with a dog and called authorities. The dog was named Toby.
Jeez, man.
Hey, it sounds like he raped Toby.
Bro, okay, I'm acting like I'm surprised. Of course I saw this story. And the first thing I thought when I saw the mugshot was, that just looks like a normal everyday dude.
Dude, that dude looks like
it's
all
like
of my
someone
cousins.
I interact with on a daily basis.
Like
you never really know someone.
I can't believe I'm not related to this guy. He looks like all my cousins.
He does. I mean, listen, Horn Lake resident. I know you've since moved on to bigger and better things, but y'all probably crossed paths once upon a time.
I ain't never seen this fella.
You never seen it? What's his name again?
Tristan Pipkin.
Tristan Pipkin.
I don't know him. We've never crossed paths, as far as I know. Oh, buddy, man. Of all the things your girlfriend could find on your phone.
Man, poor Toby.
Poor Toby.
Like, really, poor Toby.
Like, really, poor Toby. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I have a dog.
I have a dog as well. Love my dog.
Love my dog.
But not like that.
Not like that.
No.
Not like that. If you were, Bennett, be honest with me. If you were going to go down this path, would you pick a different dog, like outside the house dog? Like, if your girlfriend's going to be your main piece and a dog is going to be your side, would you prefer the dog to be an outside the house dog as opposed to Toby?
I mean, that's... I just don't even know how to answer that question, to be quite frank.
Just answer it honestly. That's what I'm asking.
The answer would just be no across the board.
I know that you wouldn't go down this path.
Thank you for prefacing with that.
We're prefacing with that.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, if you went down this path,
yeah,
wouldn't you have to be like, not Toby?
You would think so.
Because I wouldn't even want Toby looking at me like that every day when I come home.
That's the thing.
Like every time I looked at Toby, I'd just be like, man, I'm sorry, Toby. I know I shouldn't have. I just wouldn't want Toby looking at me every day.
That would, yeah. I don't think I can look Toby in the eyes. Yeah.
Of all the things your girlfriend could find on your phone, think about the worst thing your wife is. What's the worst? If you fell asleep, remember that time Tiger fell asleep and his wife found his phone, and next thing you know, she was allegedly trying to hit him with a golf club?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. So if my wife grabbed my phone, she might see Libby Dunn in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, because I just bumped into her on the streets the other night.
Right.
So she might see a Libby Dunn in there, and she might be able to say, "Why are you looking at Libby Dunn?" And I'd have a whole story ready, you know. Well, I was walking back from the Apple store, and I saw her, and then But, like, imagine Tristan Pipkin just leaving his phone laying around with this in it, and your girlfriend sees it. Imagine, let's look at it from the other side. You're a girlfriend. You're just going through your boyfriend's phone. I wonder what Tristan's been texting about.
Yeah. What's he been up to? I know.
And then you're like, is that Toby?
Oh, my God. Dude. But again, like your scenarios, like I think once you decide to like go down that path, I think everything else is just like tossed out the window, man. Like there's no reasoning. There's no reasoning with this person.
Can you imagine being a girlfriend and you're like,
I cannot.
Okay, here's a video. Here's a video of Tristan fishing, and here's a video of Tristan. I just assume he fishes. He looks like he fishes. Here's a video of Tristan, playing Fortnite. And now here's a video of Tristan. Is that Toby?
You think you know someone?
Yeah.
You think you know someone, man?
Buddy, there is not a worse thing. Is there a worse thing? I guess there's worse things.
Oh, yeah,
I guess there is.
There's worse things, but you ain't ever shaking this one.
Man, this is who you are for the rest of your life.
That's the thing, man. And I don't even feel sorry for the guy. Like,
I feel sorry for Toby.
I feel sorry for Toby.
and frankly, the girlfriend.
I hope Toby's somewhere safe.
God.
Yeah, there's no escaping this. That's unfortunately your story forever.
In all seriousness, if this is you, don't you have to change your name and just move and start a new life in Peru, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think you like definitely look into like witness protection or something like that. Like, what do they do? What do they do? Like people that go into witness protection, just erase everything.
The first thing you got to do, get rid of that beard. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
Get rid of the beard.
Yeah.
And change your name and move to Peru and just start a new life and try not to ever be crazy like this again. I think that's your only choice.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you have to move out of Horn Lake, right? Like you've lived there. I mean, everybody knows everybody, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think you can live in Horn Lake anymore. Unless you just like have no shame.
I mean, you're now the most famous person in Horn Lake.
At least this week.
You're the most famous person in Horn Lake now. You walk into Donnie's Deli, people are like, "Oh man, I know who that is. I know who that is over there." Hi, Toby. I don't know.
And if we're being honest, like we're seeing just the most disturbing thing is we're seeing too many of these stories. I feel like this is like the third time we've talked about a story like this on this show.
God.
Like,
I don't know.
What's going on out there?
I don't know, man.
What the hell is going on out there?
I don't know, man. It's
what
crazy.
leads you to that?
I couldn't begin to guess, man. I couldn't begin to guess. It's wild out there, Bennett. People making some wild choices in their lives.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't have much else to say.
I don't either. I hope Toby's okay. That's what I hope.
That's what I hope too. And the guy's girlfriend too. Like,
I
my
hope
God.
She's recovering.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a story. That's a hell of a story. You swipe right on her on the dating apps. That's a hell of a conversation the first day. So you been in a relationship recently? Yeah, I used to date this fella down in Horn Lake. Oh, well, what? How'd that end? Oh man, you ain't even gonna.
You don't want to know.
You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know.
You don't want to know. Also, like Alan just pointed out in the chat, why would you record it?
Oh man, I mean, buddy,
like, aren't you on the cloud, brother? like,
the last thing you should want is video evidence.
My God,
of this, except if we'll be serious for a second, I think that's probably part of it.
Hell yeah. Once you go down that path,
yeah. I think the video is probably part of the sickness. If we're gonna call it a sickness,
I think sickness is a totally fair word.
I think the video is probably part of the sickness, but also stupid, also really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, think about this. The only reason you got caught is because you made that video.
Yeah. I miss when we were talking about the Everest poisoning stories.
Yeah, we should just go back to that.
Those are simpler times.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. Sorry.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say either.
I'm at a loss for words.
I'm at a loss for words too. Let's just move on. We'll do carry out next.
Okay. When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
April 3rd, that's tomorrow. It's Memphis Music Night when the Grizzlies host the Raptors, 7 p.m. Project Pat's going to be in the building to perform at halftime. You can get exclusive swag and meet the hometown legend with a specialty ticket starting at $69. Your exclusive Memphis Music Night experience includes a pregame meet and greet with Mr. Don't Play himself and a limited edition Grizzlies Project Pat t-shirt. The exclusive experience will fill up fast, so grab your tickets today at grizzlies.com/Project Pat. Grizzlies.com/Project Pat. Let's do carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
NFL headline from this morning. The Las Vegas Raiders have agreed to terms with Kirk Cousins on a contract, setting the 4-time Pro Bowler, setting him up to mentor Fernando Mendoza, the expected number 1 pick of the 2026 NFL Draft out of Indiana. He had a pro day, by the way, here in the state of Indiana yesterday. By all accounts, killed it. Just like absolutely, like made every throw. He's going to be the number 1 pick, and then he is going to start the season backing up Kirk Cousins. Clint Kubiak had said earlier in the week that they wanted to add a veteran quarterback in advance of selecting Mendoza. Just in simple terms, they do not want to start a rookie quarterback on day 1.
You don't think they will?
They are saying they don't want to.
Wow, that's kind of surprising. I mean, we did it this past year. I guess it's going to work out okay. We'll see.
Here's the, well, I mean, you never won a game.
Did they really expect to win a game? I mean, come on. It's the freaking Raiders.
Here's the quote. Ideally, you don't want him to start day one. They were talking about Mendoza. You'd love him to be able to learn behind somebody. That's in a perfect world. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes they have to play from day one, and it's our job as a coach to get them ready to go. I think it does help the player, though, if they can sit behind a mature adult and watch how they run the show. So that's how the Raiders were talking earlier in the week about Mendoza, and now they go out and sign Kirk Cousins to a $20 million contract. So you're not doing that unless you expect Cousins to start on day one and Mendoza to be behind him. So this is their plan. Whether it would be everybody's plan or not, I guess is up for debate. But it is their plan in Las Vegas. Kirk Cousins, a Raider. Mendoza looks like going to back him up.
What's today's biggest game?
All right, we got a light schedule in sports today. So I'm going to take you to Oracle Park. Mets and Giants, 8:45 first pitch. You can watch it on MLB TV. The Giants are starting Robbie Ray on the mound. The Mets are going with David Peterson. Mets minus 130. Giants plus 110. How you going to act, Bennett?
What can you tell me about David Peterson?
Well, he's
you don't sound too excited.
He's fine. He's a perfectly reasonable middle-of-the-rotation starting pitcher in the National League. He's fine, but he's not what he was supposed to be.
Tough series versus the Cardinals for your New York Mets. I don't think the Giants are expected to be that good this year, so I'll for you, I'll go Mets.
Bennett, for me, he's taking the Mets minus the 130. First pitch, 8:45 tonight. LGM.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in something very bad is going to happen?
Yes, I've heard of this. Why am I drawing a blank? Yes,
Okay.
You can interest me.
Something very bad is going to happen is an 8-part series that has dropped on Netflix, and it's built around a wedding, and something very bad happens at this wedding. It's a horror series.
Oh, yeah, my wife was showing me this. Yes, I am on board with this. I'm excited about this. I don't really know anything about it, so I'm kind of excited to go in blind.
Rachel and Nikki kick off their wedding week with a drive to his parents' secluded home, but end up taking a few detours. Ooh. I actually turned it on. I downloaded it on the plane yesterday, and I probably watched about 20 minutes, and then I went night-night.
Was it scary?
I went sleepy.
Was it scary?
I wasn't scared. I was never afraid. I was never afraid sitting on my plane yesterday. But I was also not bored. I thought the reviews are good. The premise seems interesting. I kind of like horror stuff every once in a while.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Bennett. I don't dabble like you dabble, but I dabble some. So I'm going to get to this. Something very bad is going to happen. 8 episodes. It's number 1. It is number 1 in new TV shows at Netflix right now. You can find it on your Netflix app.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com, Isaac Trotter, my colleague, has broken down the Final Four matchups position by position. The headline right now is Final Four breakdown: why Illinois has answers for UConn and why Michigan holds an edge versus Arizona. So if you want like some real basketball breakdown stuff on these national semifinals that'll be played here at Lucas Oil on Saturday, Isaac Trotter's got it for you. You can read it on the college basketball page, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Friday. I've got an early call time. That is because we have the practice show on CBS Sports Network, which is always fun. 4 hours, live from Lucas Oil. We'll be there for the UConn practice, for the Illinois practice, for the Arizona practice, for the Michigan practice. I'll spend 1 hour on the outside set, 1 hour on the inside set, 1 hour on the outside set, 1 hour on the inside set. Then we'll take a little break, and then we got another show tomorrow night, CBS Sports Network, and then it's off to Friday night with the family in downtown Indianapolis. So Lang Whitaker, that's a long way to say Lang Whitaker is going to host the show tomorrow. Bennett Doyle is going to sit with them. Jessica Benson will join them. They'll get you ready for Grizzlies Raptors tomorrow night. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll try to enjoy mine, and we'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get one entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus one free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings, and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, an outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.